Next up, we have our market research presentation by Marc Bünger of Lux Research. I mentioned I saw Marc speak at, I think it was Image Sensors conference a few weeks ago, and what I really liked about his talk is, unlike maybe the typical market research talk, which is just a lot of graphs going up and to the right, Marc really delved into like how is the structure of industries going to be changing due to emergence of new technologies? And I thought he had some really excellent insights, so I'm really pleased that he's here today to talk with us. Welcome, Marc.
Thank you. Okay, is that on? Good. Great. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me too. And I have to say, this is just such a fascinating space with so many different opportunities going on in addition to restaurants and retail that we just heard about. I can see that same type of thing applying to, in fact, I know of some companies that have gotten a lot of venture money that are doing that type of thing for office space, so occupancy of conference rooms and things like that. So this is a really key enabling technology. And as Jeff said, what I'd like to talk about is not a lot of the, unfortunately, I do Arduinos with my kids. That's about as much tech as you're going to get out of me. I know it's like you guys do that with your kids' probably. The babies, that is. So I don't have a lot of the technical background, although my colleagues do. So what I wanted to talk about was a little bit, as Jeff said, how do industry structures change? And we talk about disruption, that's kind of a throwaway term, but it really does mean something specific. And you can get into a lot of the MBA literature about what happens, but I like to use a simple story. How many of you have one of these, and you've ever said to anybody, I'll call you on my camera? Like, nobody's ever said that. That's who said that. However, we always say, in multiple languages around the world, you say, let me take a picture with my phone. And that's a really weird thing to say. If you scrolled back 20 years, nobody would even get what you were talking about. Okay? It sounds really, why would you take a picture with your phone? So it sounds trivial, but that means a lot for the companies that were dominant in that space when this change started to happen. So there was one technology, actually two very similar ones. So Cmos and Ccd, camera chips, basically. They became small enough and cheap enough you could start sticking them on phones. And I remember in the 90s, I had a project with Nokia. And they said, we thought we could maybe get a camera onto the phone. What would we do with that? We spent weeks going like, I have no idea. and we came up with like, well, maybe if somebody was shopping, they would take a picture and send it to somebody and go like, do you think this looks good? And so we got that right, because people do that a lot, but we didn't, get a whole bunch of other things like that Anthony Weiner figured out you could do. So we didn't see that one coming. So anyways, that's what I mean by disruption. When there's a technology that basically affects the structure of industries, a tiny little, thing that costs less than $1, and now we've got billions of dollars at stake because of that. So this happens a lot. When we talk about digital transformation or disruption, or whatever your term, paradigm shift, lots of terms for this, creative destruction, all the way back to Schumpeter, it means this: industries combine, and generally when that happens, one of them emerges unscathed, the other one doesn't. So that is the pattern that we see again and again. Adjacent industries, there's a little technology that makes them not just adjacent, but now kind of overlapping, and then all hell breaks loose for 3 to 5 years, and things completely change. And then you get stuff like this.